Sacagawea.
I've heard that it's pronounced Sacagawea.
Sacagawea. Okay.
But it's always, listen, growing up in the Pacific Northwest, they really were force feeding us a lot of Lewis and Clark stuff, and Sacagawea played in a big way. But then I feel like I learned in high school that I had maybe been saying Sacagawea wrong.
And I know you're sensitive about that. What does it mean in this movie? Julia Roberts is constantly saying, like, it's shorthand between her and George Clooney. Every time he starts to go off script, she would say Sacagawea, Lee, Sacagawea.
Is it like because Sacagawea guided Lewis and Clark? She's like saying, "Hey, stay on track, follow me. I'm the smart woman who actually is going to keep you from getting lost here. Listen to what I'm saying."
Yes, I mean, certainly that's what it is. The movie does not go to any length to explain that, nor doesn't really need to, but it's
kind of impressed. It decided to leave a stone unturned.
Yeah. I couldn't, every time she said it though, and she said it a lot, I couldn't help but laugh because it's one of my all-time favorite Portlandia skits, where Fred and Carrie are playing a couple of museum tour guides talking about a Sacagawea diorama, and they're inside the canoe pretending Sacagawea is at the back of the boat, and they just keep like, Sacagawea, hey, I need that direction, and they just keep saying her name and then like continuing the skit and then pausing and then going back and saying her name 18 more times to try to get her attention as if she's like distracted.
So it keeps calling back to a comedy sketch in the middle of moments that are supposed to be really tense and exciting.
That's what it was for me, at least.
It's like if her code word for George Clooney was like sweaty balls or something, and you just had to keep hearing that. Lee, Baba Booey, Lee, Baba Booey.
Lee, Howard Stern's penis.
If her thing was just always like, well, I've got nipples, can you milk me, or something like that. But she's doing it
Lee, shagadelic, baby, come on.
I knew we'd get to Austin Powers eventually. That's good. She says Lee, and then she just starts doing the Six Flags guy dance and singing the entire Vangabus song, but every time.
No. Oh,
I'd pay attention. I'd stop clowning around if I was threatened with the prospect of listening to a song about how the Vangabus is coming. So, of all the movies that we've watched, if I had to guess which one would have a rap at the end of it about the themes of the film, I wouldn't have guessed it was the one about financial crimes.
Oh, no. God, where do I go for this? Yeah, it was shocking. What makes it more shocking to me is that the rap is done by Del the Funky Homo Sapien and
am I supposed to know who that is, by the way, or is that just a nobody?
No, they are hold on, let me get the actual name here. So it's What Makes the World Go Round, parentheses, money. All caps, money, exclamation point. Written by Dan the Automator and Del the Funky Homo Sapien. Amazing indie, maybe I wouldn't call them indie, underground rap artists. They're fantastic. They truly are.
Okay.
I did not expect a shit ass song at the end of Money Monster to come from them.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you said that, because when you said that there are such a great couple of musicians, I was like, wait, is something wrong with me then that I didn't like the song, or do I just not know how to listen to rap?
The title of the thing shouldn't be What Makes the World Go Round, Money. It's like, what made me do this song? Money.
I think this is the thing about this rap, end credits rap, is that it's not, it's like the rap is not very good, but it's not, the reason that it's bad is not because it goes to awkward lengths to talk about exact things and characters from the movie. It's just sort of like, it's just sort of a nothing. It's like sort of just talking generally about, like, it's using a bunch of words about, investments and Wall Street is pimping out the nation and stuff like that. But like, so it's just sort of a not particularly engrossing or enjoyable song. It would have been if it had just really leaned in to like telling the story of Kyle and like or like the ballad of producer Ron.
Okay. I've done that before. I don't know if I've ever told the story on the show before, but
not on this show, but yeah.
We've done one of our first films was a horror film about a killer cat, a slasher film.
When he says "R," he by the way does not mean that Landen and I made a movie.
No,
about a killer
not
cat.
me and Truman, but
although I wish.
Everyone who made the film, and we made it in like 2001 maybe, and then in 2007 after we had made a whole bunch of films and kind of had not really a crowd, but I mean we had enough people that were interested in attending a double feature of the first film we did and the newest film we did before we moved out to Hollywood. Had this night of watching both of these films, and so we recut the original, and we're like, well, how can we spruce this up a little bit? I know, what about a rap song at the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
And the movie was like 20 minutes long, 25 minutes long maybe, and I'm like, this is a ridiculous movie, this is super funny, I'm gonna do something that makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And so I recorded a rap song, which is funny in and of itself.
Yeah, I know. Also, to continue calling it rap song with a straight face also is funny.
That was half the length of the movie.
Oh, God.
And it was just me literally rapping beat by beat, shot by shot, what happens throughout the film that they just spent 25 minutes watching. And being in the back of the auditorium, watching everyone start to giggle, laugh at how bad it is, then go, does he know it's bad? And then start to look at their neighbor and like, do we have to sit through the rest of this? It was one of the crowning achievements of my personal comedy.
These people showed up to support you and to support independent film in their community, and your response was, they must be punished. They must never make this mistake again.
I mean, yeah, I think I gave them a gift, in my humble opinion, but you know,
and look, and I think you did too. Frankly, if you have a copy of the rap, I'd like to hear it. I think it would be an important part of the lore of our friendship. The fact you doing that in like 2007 is pretty funny, but to see it done not for parody, but like with a completely straight face in 2016, so long after this craze had happened. You know, this is many years after Dragnet's City of Crime rap or you know, Aces in the House.
Why would anyone even attempt to after that?
No, you know, listen, if your movie tie-in rap does not have Dan Aykroyd rapping in it about paganism, then don't even bother.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Does why does every police force or military squad have to have a Vasquez?
Well, is there a literal Vasquez on this, or is it just
yes.
Okay, like as in their name is Vasquez?
He literally walks into the monitoring trailer outside the studio. Giancarlo does and goes, Vasquez, give me the 401 on the negotiator.
I mean, look, as someone who has written a Vasquez into an action movie script, I can only ever assume that it can't happen by accident. It's only people paying tribute to aliens, and presumably people paying tribute, as I did without realizing at the time that the woman who played Vasquez was a white lady in brown face as a Latin American space marine. The only flaw in what I consider to be an otherwise flawless movie. You know, but yeah, it's just that Vasquez was a trailblazer for decades of other cinematic Vasquezes.
I guess so. Do you think it's all part of one family? Just a lineage of Vasquezes?
Listen. It is in our blood to be a kind of supporting person holding a gun who is maybe a little bit of a loose cannon and dies before the end of the movie. Spoiler alert for Aliens. Actually, well, no, I guess Vasquez in Money Monster doesn't die. None of the cops die, so
That's true, yeah.
that's like in Forrest Gump, how Lieutenant Dan is like the only one in his family who doesn't die in a war and gets all bummed about it.
What's Dan's last name? Is it Vasquez?
Yeah, it's like Lieutenant Dan Vasquez.
Okay, so I mentioned on the main episode that I had watched Little Man Tate leading up to this because I wanted to reacquaint myself. I also watched the Tales from the Dark Side episode, which I love that show, and that is just a forgettable episode. But I was watching Little Man Tate, and it put me in mind of, like, the premise for Money Monster feels like it would have been better served as a 1990s action thriller.
Yeah.
It would have been more violent.
Yes.
It would have, I don't know, I think they did suspense a little bit better back then. Now it's a little whitewashed.
And also, I think at the time that Money Monster came out, technology was prevalent enough that hacking as a like, in a 90s movie, yes, there might be load-bearing hackers in that movie, but in the 90s they didn't have they wouldn't do something as dumb as, oh yeah, we immediately scanned every CCTV image in the world to get this person's face. Like, people didn't know that any of that technology was out there, so they wouldn't use that as a plot point. It would just be like, we hacked into the mainframe and got this file, and that's
And they would have shown that mainframe with, like, some sort of, early 90s green DOS looking 3D imaging mapping system.
Exactly. The hackers would have put on VR headsets and gone through a virtual environment that looks like Crash Bandicoot or something.
Who would be cast in that movie? I have one right out the gate.
Okay.
I think Lee would be played by Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I could see that being Kurt Russell, or would it be like Warren Beatty? Would it be like an older?
Oh, yeah,
older guy.
Yes. Yeah, you'd have to change the character a little bit. Like, he wouldn't be into the wacky stuff, but
I mean,
I definitely, Warren Beatty is a great suggestion.
Warren Beatty wouldn't be into the wacky stuff. The star of Dick Tracy wouldn't be into wacky stuff. Is what you're telling me right now?
I mean, like, if he's tapping into his, like, Warren Beatty persona, I don't think having him put on boxing gloves and dancing with fly girls was gonna, like, he saved that for Bulworth.
Sure, of course. Who would play Julia Roberts in this?
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts would play Julia Roberts. It's the role she was born to play. It's the role she'll always play.
You know who it would be? Ironic enough, it would be
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
This movie is a snake eating its own tail.
Okay, but more interestingly, who would? Oh, I know who it would be. Who would be the kind of young Kyle, angsty breaking into the thing?
Did young Kyle do the rap for the end of the 90s version of this movie? Okay, you know who
I think I know who it would be.
I for some reason I see it as young Philip Seymour Hoffman, but maybe just because I want that to happen and not because that would be the perfect casting for it. Who do you think it would be?
I think let's give this a date of 94. I feel like that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's Nick of Time era Johnny Depp right there.
Yep.
You also mentioned Steve Buscemi earlier, and I could also see him in this. Like, I know that he's typically a lower energy, kind of more laconic performance, but I could see him bringing some of his Fargo energy to be in this man on the edge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would take a completely different spin on the character, but I definitely can see him being a loose cannon.
It would also take a completely different spin, this being a 90s thriller, because, like, Mad Money didn't exist in the 90s, so audiences would be like, what? This is insane! No one would ever play weird cartoon noises while giving stock tips. This is nuts. All the perpetrators of the late 80s savings and loan crisis actually went to jail. Like, of course they face elite accountability.
Maybe like a young Brad Pitt would do it too.
Oh, honestly, doing kind of a 12 Monkeys type energy with it, just going really ham. I could see that. This because also I feel like all of the outside the studio stuff would just suddenly have more of a Die Hard with a Vengeance energy. That kind of like
yeah. That said, with that cast and John McTiernan directing, I think we've got a pretty memorable film on our hands.
I would love a John McTiernan directed Money Monster. What if that was the movie that John McTiernan went to jail for instead of Rollerball? because he actually stole, like, because he actually did financial crimes to like do research for the film. Like, it's just like all of the ships and submarines and everything in Hunt for Red October had to be real boats. It's like, no, it has to be real fraud for this movie to work.
Damn, I'm gonna remember our fake movie more than I'm gonna remember this movie.
I'm trying to think of what's the '90s tagline for Money Monster.
Money Monster. Greed is gone.
Damn, that's pretty solid. Yeah. Let's see. Something about green, like green as in like, 'cause like money is green, like not green with envy, too easy, but like, you know, bleed green or something like that.
It sounds like I don't know, Ireland is taking on the American, you know, mentality of these colors don't run.
Yeah, or like that's some kind of like promo for all new green Gatorade or something like that.
God, I could see the commercial for that too, of just athletes getting off the court and their pores seeping with green ooze.
Well, I mean that was a Gatorade commercial in the 90s.
Was it
Maybe
really?
That's why it's so. Yeah, no,
okay.
There's colorful, big, sweaty, colorfully sweaty people in black and white, but their sweat is neon colored, and which always gave me the impression that like you shouldn't be drinking this stuff that makes your sweat fluorescent. Like that's just a bad sign. You shouldn't be doing that.
Should we play the trailer game?
Yeah, let's play the trailer game. So I'll stop talking about sweaty people.
Well, we gotta talk about the sweaty characters in this movie a little bit more.
Yes.
I think I mentioned in the main episode, I remember the like gunshot going off when Kyle enters the studio, like the oh shit, this is real moment. And I think that's pretty early in the trailer, but that's given. I don't think we should count that as a point.
Same.
Okay.
God, I always forget that we're gonna play the trailer game, and I'm always completely blindsided and have to come up with stuff on the fly. But I mean, I think that we're definitely going to get, like, we're going to get them on the street, like, probably late in the trailer. We're going to get the two of them, surrounded by a mob of, surrounded by the cops and the people cheering. Like, it's them on the street, people thronging the sidewalks cheering for them.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how they're going to market this. I mean, because I can see that coming in, like, they set up the premise, and then there's that, like, 3 to 5 second series of shots that right before you get to the Money Monster title screen where, like, you're not seeing a scene play out or a moment play out. It's just part of, like, the general tapestry of suspense. I can see it falling somewhere in there, but I think it's, regardless of where it falls, I think that's a moment that'll be in there.
I wish that you hosted an Alfred Hitchcock Presents type show called Landon Solano's Tapestry of Suspense. That would be so funny.
Tonight we're going to weave you a tale.
Bundle up in these thrills. Like you're almost to like Crypt Keeper levels of wordplay, except not as good because presumably I'd be writing it. Okay. So I also think I'm just gonna jump ahead and make another wager. Do you think that to set up the nature of what the Money Monster show is, do you think that they're going to gamble on showing us what it looks like when George Clooney dances? Because if you're trying to suggest to people quickly that this is an irreverent show, you're not.
Well, how do you not show the Fly Girls? If they do, it's going to be like a split second. Like, enough to see the dancing, but not enough to see him being bad at dancing. So it's so small that I don't think we can count it as a point. But what I do think we can count on is, like, grow some balls and then hitting the red button.
Yeah, balls. Yeah, perfect.
I'll take an extra half credit point for us if they do show even a second of dancing.
Okay. 1 second of dancing. What else? What else do we think?
Okay. How about the irreverent, because okay, this is playing off of like, hey, it's a George Clooney, Julia Roberts movie. There's got to be something about her speaking into his ear, or maybe the banter that we didn't talk about this on the main feed, but the majority of the the majority of the movie, they filmed separately.
Yep.
They weren't in the same studio. So
that's how you sign Julia Roberts. You spend most of the movie sitting down in whatever studio is close to your home.
I don't want to disparage Julia Roberts.
I don't, which is why I'm not doing it. But if I had to squeeze in a low budget movie in between all of my larger stuff, it's like, oh, the one where I'm just sitting down looking at a screen.
So I think you can amend to say, if you want to book anybody, give them a movie where they could just sit down.
Sure. That's how they got everyone in Hope Springs.
There's so much sitting in that movie.
It's sit heavy.
What is the interplay? I bet it's going to be something like the Aaron Sorkin vibe early in the movie when they're kind of walking and talking.
She's like, she's asking him something about like, are you gonna give me the pages? And he says, just point the camera at me and I'll go. And she says that you say that like it's simple. You say that like you don't know how idiotic it sounds or something like that. Idiotic.
Yeah. Do we have that exact line? I know the moment. I just want to be like, I don't want to claim the point if we don't get it. But
I mean, look, it's her referring to his plan as like it's so idiotic, because that's kind of like the moment that they have Aaron Sorkin'd their way over here, and then she's like walking away from him, and like that is kind of like their parting face-to-face word until the end of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, this is kind of an amorphous one with Kyle. I think we'll see a very quick series of shots of him carrying the boxes past the security guard through the door, and then showing up right on set and throwing the gun in the air. You know what? No, take all that away. I think they're just going to start with him on the set shooting a gun in the air.
Okay, Kyle shooting gun,
which we said wasn't going to give us a point, but now it's gone. Fuck it. In a circle.
Yeah, we make all the rules here. It's our podcast. All right, one more. We got one last one.
Well, I think it's got to be something with Kyle screaming or yelling or getting his point across.
Yeah, I mean it's I feel like it's got to be his opening rant about like they're stealing from you. Again, I don't remember his exact lines, but that thing about just like they're all stealing from you, you're getting ripped off, like him expressing those Occupy Wall Street ass sentiments.
Yep.
All right. I think we're probably. I think there's going to be at least 4 scenes of Ron putting on the topical boner cream and then him having sex with the lady in a supply closet. They're going to really lead with that, much like how in the Hope Springs trailer they really led with the theater oral sex scene, like I predicted.
You called that.
I'm real good at knowing what shows up in movie trailers. That is my specialty.
Okay, this is stupid, but I think we're gonna have just the shot of the sniper on the catwalk looking down on the set.
Okay, catwalk sniper looking down on set. We have guessed.
Okay,
once again,
and that'll be my last guess.
Yeah, that's way too many. But you know what? Nothing matters. Okay, well, let's cue this up and see how totally 100% right I was about everything. Oh, we got a pre-roll. Oh shit! This is one of those cold open sphere trailer.
When was the last time you saw a TriStar logo?
When I watched Money Monster. This is a quiet trailer.
Who can get out right now.
I had questions about that. That seems like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Make eye contact. Just go. Lee, stay calm. I'm right here.
This is making this movie look way more intense than it actually was.
Live in 5 minutes.
You have the revisions for the opening.
We're still making some changes.
Am I going to get the changes before the show or after
You know the drill.
show?
You just point the camera my direction. We'll figure it out together.
It always sounds so simple.
There it is.
So moronic.
Moronic. Oh, idiotic. Still counts. He's dancing.
Gates, the show,
dancing.
Money Monster. Without risk, there is no reward. Should I sell? Should I unload? Get some balls.
Balls.
Who's that guy on
If you want to
Balls!
complain about it, go ahead.
Who is it? Anybody know?
Was it a union thing?
Dude!
Cut the feed.
Whoever's in there, turn the cameras on. Turn the cameras on, Patty. Turn them on. What do you want me to do? Turn them on.
Put it up.
Okay.
Take it
Yeah,
out.
saw that.
No, it won't blow up, because I have the detonator. My thumb comes off this
Detonator.
trigger, then we all explode.
Okay, promoting Jodie
I
Foster.
might be the one with the gun here, but I'm not the real criminal. It's
Oh my
people
God.
like these guys.
I got my finger on the trigger,
What the hell is this
Okay,
song?
did not expect
whole
this
damn
song.
but I don't know who to trust.
They're
Was
stealing
this the
everything
rap?
from us, and they're getting away with it too. How's that even fair?
Wow.
Keep talking to him. All right, you're good at that.
Got my finger on the trigger.
Oh, getting him to talk. Yeah, getting him to
lost a lot
host.
of money
Yeah,
when the
okay,
market
that should have been, I
Face
guess.
just ain't
They
Yeah.
tracked down his girlfriend.
That was
None of the
Everything he had,
hacking
every last
is in
cent.
this.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to do certain
They're not
I
promoting
would
on
not
the
have called a Bruce
Nobody was
Springsteen
asking
song
any
that does
questions
not
before.
sell the
These
vibe
guys
of this
could
movie.
expose everything.
We both want an explanation for what went wrong.
We don't know.
Ah, shoot
You
the
have to
TV.
understand how delicate of a situation this is.
80 feet from a bomb, don't talk to me about delicate situations.
We're human beings. We're not computers. We have a
Of
conscience.
course, we gotta sell the leading man.
I'm trying to save
This is
him.
a ward bait
You're
trailer
trying
here.
to shoot him.
Up, sniper!
Sniper!
I
Sniper!
want an explanation.
Follow the money. Find the fraud. We're in this together now. Don't turn your
Oh
back
my
on
God.
anybody. I don't want you to die.
Walking down the street! Truman!
You came here to get some answers. You deserve to get some answers.
We at 100% for Money Monster?
Wow. Wow. We're way better at making predictions than either Jim Cramer or Lee Gates, frankly. Okay. We have Second of Dancing. I'm gonna give us credit for, even though I said idiotic, moronic was the word, like that
Yeah.
was the exact thing that I meant.
Yes. Yep.
We don't get Kyle ranting about the financial,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
but
We get periphery rants. It wasn't direct rant.
it wasn't the main rant. Did we get him? He shoots, right? He shoots in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He shoots. We score. I don't know if people on streets.
People on the streets.
I don't know if did we actually see any of them, or was it just the cops?
No. Okay. I see what you mean. When you said it, I was picturing just the procession of cops walking with them down the street.
Which
I didn't
they do.
actually factor into my head that, like, you were mentioning, or you were referring to, like, seeing the guy dancing and making it rain.
Well, I didn't even mean the guy making it rain.
No, but I know, but I didn't know you meant we see the people watching them walk down the road.
I mean, I guess we see them kind of at the edges of everything. I almost want to give us this point just because we're doing so well and we, again, clearly have the mandate
Well,
of heaven.
The precedent is a half a point, so give us a half point.
Okay, half point. All right, well then, okay, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get a half point extra credit for the 1 second of dancing, which,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah, and then another half point for people on streets, abadidade. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yes, we get 5 points for this. That's 5.
5 out of technically 6.
Yeah, it would be more satisfying if we just, like, kept to a very strictly controlled number of guesses every time. But again, that train has sailed. Okay,
You
but
can't contain me.
I didn't see this trailer. If I'd seen this trailer, I probably would have seen the movie and then
You think
walked out
so?
of the theater very mad. This
Mad money.
this trailer makes it look like this is a really, like, gritty movie about, like, urban terrorism and the underclass rising up and, like, how are we going to live together in this society. This trailer does not give away that, like, a big part of this is, like, talking to Icelandic computer hackers
Is that that vibe strictly come through purely because of Bruce Springsteen?
Maybe a little bit, a little tiny bit. I don't know, man. Slightly. Like, if they had a bespoke Bruce Springsteen song at the end of this movie, like, the fact that this movie ends with this really, like, confrontational rap song with, like, horns and, like, my money ain't funny because I make cash. Like, that makes me think, like, okay, this movie's trying to go for one kind of vibe. But instead, when you have this very somber, like, Bruce Springsteen singing about how the factory went out of business and my dad got black lung and
Oh, God.
my girlfriend got outsourced to China or something. It's like,
Do you think there's a potentially Oscar winning Bruce Springsteen song on the cutting room floor of Money Monster, the way that James Bond discarded a Johnny Cash version of the Bond song at one point?
Yeah, probably so. Jodie Foster was like, "Listen, Bruce, I really love that you laid this down for us. It's a really moving song, but I just think the rap by the DJ Homo Sapien or whatever is way
Del Homo Sapien and
yeah, same thing. I don't know. I'm impressed. I'm so proud of because this trailer was so tonally different from what I thought it was going to be, and yet it still lined up with so much of what we predicted. That's man, we're so good at this. We're so good at this thing that we invented that no one else does.
I'll let you wear your hand out, patting our backs. I'm not gonna get in on that, but
we're so good. We're so good at this thing that we invented that we are frequently actually quite bad at.
We've been good once.
Yeah, that's true. It can't. Well, and listen, you can't always get a monkey in the first second of a trailer. Although this is also the first trailer we've done that starts with that little like cold open roundup of all of the other.
The pre-trailer teaser, and now the trailer for. Here's the teaser for the trailer for the teaser of the thing.
Yeah. Yo, dog, I heard you like trailers, so I put a trailer in your trailer.
I know you have no attention span on social media, so I got to capture your attention in the first 3 seconds to tell you you're about to watch a trailer.
Yeah, because I'm the only trailer doing this. No other trailer has also aped this format in the same desperate ploy for even a second of your attention.
What's annoying is I'm someone who watches a lot of trailers, and so I'll go and press play on a new trailer, and then it's like the trailer starts do now. I'm like,
yeah,
cool. Could you have started when I pressed the play button and not wasted 10 seconds of my life?
You know what? I want a trailer that starts on page 1. Give me that, please. Much like all those great Blacklist scripts.
I think I'm just going to start watching only the 10-second trailer for the trailer and go, do I want to see that movie?
You listen to podcasts and audiobooks at double speed. I mean, why not just further optimize your life? Think of all the time you'll save.
Oh God. I think we've covered Money Monster as much as I'm willing to. I'm ready to finally just let nature take its course and fully forget this movie that I've been struggling to remember for a couple days. Yes, agreed. So I think let's get the fuck out of 2016 and see where the machine is sending us next.
Yeah, good luck with this decade, you nerds. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting closer to home. We're heading for August 20th, 2021.
Okay. I don't... Hold on. I don't really understand this. Okay, it says, the movie Memory Machine is sending us to a movie about a memory machine.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Is this like when you hold a mirror up to another mirror and it just reflects back and forth, or when you open up the webcam broadcast on the screen that you're sharing and it just becomes an infinite tube?
Yes, yeah. That plus when you hold a magnet up to a hard drive. Or, in the case of Simone, open a hard drive on a beach.
Oh, God, my dad is so angry right now. I didn't even mention that idea. I mean, look, I've got to go call my dad on the phone and calm him down about the way that we're treating technology on this show. But
I think that's how we get out of the movie Memory Machine. We just transport up some beach, some sand at some point, and hopefully it gets in the crevasses of the machine.
Crevasses of the machine. That's my Alfred Hitchcock Presents type show. Also, I love that you said teleport up some beach instead of some sand.
Oh, God, let's get out of here. For Truman Caps, I've been Landen Solano.
And for Landen Solano, I've been Truman Caps.
We'll see you next week, folks.
Whoa!
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpodcast to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.
It's in there.
No, it was like, well, what's the next step? Write a poem to her, hold her hand in public, sing a serenade, sex.
It's different. Those are different scenes.
Wow,
they're different scenes. I don't. I'm gonna be honest and
fucking-
reject that point.
Fucking stickler over here. Ben,
Well, I want to
Ben
be. I
Stickler.
want to be for people who are watching this movie and playing the trailer game along with us. I want to be very honest about the points we get.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Be truthful and honest. This is one of the things that I love about you. Okay. Masterfully called it Elizabeth Shue asking who in here is getting some. Like, just
I got the line wrong, but the moment was the moment I was.
No, the moment was the moment. I gotta say, man, and I'll call this out again. You have proven really good at guessing what's in romantic comedy trailers, like this and Life or Something Like It. Dunkers. Now the horror movie Poltergeist, no, we completely failed on that. Your favorite genre, but this one, you're right at home. Okay.
Yeah. Well. So what's our total up to?
Well, we still have Gene Smart also doing the whole thing about like talking
Yes.
about how you can't change your marriage, whatever.
Good.
And then I mean, so that's basically 3 out of the 5. And then I also secretly wrote down the whole thing about he's gonna get on the plane, even though he seems resistant. And you were like, no, it couldn't possibly be. But
Listen,
you see, it was.
I appreciate it if people rewind back and listen to the argument, which is actually a tactic used or purported to be useful in the marriage clinic book that I read for this, to listen back to recordings of these therapy sessions.
Oh God.
I think we need to negate that point for
Okay.
one reason. That while he does show up on the plane, the hard resistance leading up to getting on the plane isn't really there. It is banking on it being Tommy Lee Jones.
Just let's go to the videotape here. Hang on while I just check. Just scrolling us back. I mean, she's watched the video of him. He is voicing his consternation. She's sitting alone on the plane. It's implied that he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, I know, but okay, all right. Then give us maybe. How about this? One secret half point for
okay, a secret half point. Sure. This will all go great in the Excel spreadsheet. The secret half point column. Okay. All right. So we got. And of course, that whole thing was an extra credit question anyway, so it shouldn't even really count towards anything. We of the 5 official picks, we got 3 of them, and then we got half of an extra credit point for getting on the plane.
Okay, all right. I mean, I think that's pretty respectful considering our track record.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. We've been completely wiped out in the past, so this is not bad. Nothing to sneeze at.
And you know what? We can appreciate it all the more because we worked together.
Oh, that's true. What we've built here over all these years is truly the most important thing. Well, yeah, I mean, that's great. Well, now that we're kind of done talking about this movie, maybe we can also end the extended tortured series of bits about us being an old married couple. I don't know what that's going to do for our fan fiction community, but I don't want to look.
All right. Well, I guess that means there's only one thing left to do, and that's to see what the machine is going to torture us with us next.
Okay. Oh boy. It looks like we're heading to May 13th, 2016.
Lights, camera, action. I'm reading this like it's a Riddler threat. Lights, camera, action. Brush up on your active shooter drills.
Oh, God. Oh, Landen. Oh, man.
Don't yell at me. It's the clue that the machine gave us.
Well, the machine needs to be a little more sensitive about these things. Although, admittedly, I did compare Tommy Lee Jones's character in the last movie to an active shooter. So I don't know. Maybe we're all hopelessly compromised going into that wonderful and fondly remembered spring of 2016.
And also, it's not bad to brush up on your drills. You should know what to do in the case of a very likely active shooter situation.
Wow, guys. Well, thanks for listening to Movie Memory Machine, the film podcast that makes you think and also makes you laugh. I've been, for Landon Solano, I've very solemnly and soberly been Truman Caps.
For Truman Caps, my wife,
oh.
I've been Landon Solano.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Gonna throw throw you into space.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpodcast to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.